The town of Valentine is located at what I'd consider the heart of the entire game, right in the middle of everything in the world of Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that might be why it's called Valentine, actually. Because, it's at the heart of everything. Valentines and hearts and stuff. Anyways, Valentine is probably the first town all of us have encountered after leaving the cold and snowy mountains up north and setting up camp in Horseshoe Overlook. Lots of Chapter 2 missions take place in and around the town, and so naturally you probably spend a lot of time in the area of the game here in your playthroughs. At first glance, the town looks like a normal town. In fact, I think that most people who've played this game would consider Valentine as the most normal looking town in the entire game. It just gives you that old western cowboy vibe that you've come to expect. If you spent enough time wandering the town and the night starts creeping in, you'll probably head over to the saloon for some drinks. Stop by and you might hear someone mentioning something about the Valentine town curse.
You been in town long?
Looked like something out of my dream.
Well, you've probably heard everyone talking about the curse here. Maybe not. Folk reckon luck runs bad in this town, and the superstitious among them reckon that ain't no coincidence. Me, I reckon a man makes his own luck. There ain't no church nor curse gonna change it. But what do you care anyway, huh?
So obviously, the residents of Valentine think that the town is cursed because a lot of bad things happen to them. Valentine isn't short on bad things happening, but at least it isn't, burning down or something. You might be thinking, well, what is the curse? Why did the curse happen? We can find our answers to these questions in and around the location of Valentine. One of the first clues to the town's curse is a newspaper clipping or note of some kind that talks about it. The Curse of Valentine, a haunting spectacle. The town of Valentine has reported many strange sights and sounds in recent years, and residents speak of a curse that has fallen on the area. Spectral canoes have been seen on the water, and the cries of mourning Indian mothers have been heard at night. At other times, usually on windy, starlit evenings, piercing cries are heard from the distance. Residents claim this is due to the Indian family murdered years ago with a treasure they had found. The reports are uncanny yet come from several sources, and the prevalence of Indian artifacts around town has only increased the locals' excitability. So clearly the Curse of Valentine might be a real thing. The note talks about how people have seen spectral canoes on the water in the area. I'm assuming that the water they're talking about is the Dakota River, located just northwest of the town. If you spend some time around the Dakota River, you'll probably not see anything of that nature, like spectral canoes or anything. There aren't any ghost canoes running down the river at night that we can see, so the note also talks about mourning Indian mothers being heard at night, as well as piercing cries. I've read up on this, and apparently some people have actually heard some stuff at night. You always hear like random screams or whispers anywhere you go in the game, so I don't know if this is exclusive to Valentine here, but maybe if you spend a long enough time around the area, you might be able to actually hear something. The note ends with saying that the residents of Valentine think that the curse is a result of an Indian family getting murdered years ago with a treasure or something. So I could definitely see something like this happening, but I'm not sure if the town itself has any Indian artifacts just lying anywhere around. Someone probably would have found something by now, but it is interesting to hear about a treasure being involved. I'm not sure if stealing a treasure like that would be a good idea because, it would be cursed, but hey, a treasure's a treasure. There are other mentions of the curse in other places, one of them being right at camp.
The stone, entire country turned into morons. Curses everywhere.
What's Valentine's curse?
Well, I didn't quite understand what the woman was saying. Kind of her being a bit of an idiot, but something about a massacre and a last surviving Indian cursing the county.
Well, if they massacred people, then they deserve to be cursed.
Of course. You believe in curses, Arthur?
No, I believe in bullets, and not too much else.
You soulless wretch.
But what was it? Was it just bad luck or bad weather or something else?
Something about an eagle or an owl. A gravesite. I didn't really get it.
I think it sounds very interesting.
So clearly an eagle or an owl has something to do with the mystery here. Some people have speculated that, it could be a good idea to kill an eagle or an owl and then, drop it over at the Indian burial site. But then again, where is the burial site located? Maybe someone's found something on this, but I know I haven't. If there was any suspicious looking burial ground, then I'd assume that it should be somewhere near the town of Valentine. If it isn't, then the only native burial ground that comes to mind is the one located in the Big Valley region of West Elizabeth. The burial site here does do weird things if you desecrate it, like it'll start raining all of a sudden and whatnot, but we just don't know if it has anything to do with the Valentine curse.
This ain't the city. Strangers is welcome.
Thanks.
Well, you have to offer a fellow traveler some repose. Something I get from my pa. He always said it was bad luck not to invite a stranger at the door into the house. Got killed in his bed when I was 9 years old, so probably ain't the best superstition to live by, but it's always stuck with me. Yep, and he prayed every day, too. Yep, it's like the town of Valentine. I'm sure you know the place. People there are convinced they're under some curse, that the run of bad luck is punishment for something. Shared a fire out near there with an old fella who told me he think it's the Indians. Right? Stranger things have happened. He said he'd heard years ago about an ancient Indian painting. One of them they did on animal hides that showed a massacre by the settlers. And the rumor was, it was connected with Valentine in some way.
Carry on.
He said the painting got torn up and thrown away, but he'd heard some pieces of it still exist. I don't know. We all tell ourselves things to explain what we can't explain. But what we do does come back on us, I reckon. Well, anyway, I should get some work done before my luck turns.
So even this guy mentions something about a painting and some part of it still existing. Again, I have no idea where you could potentially find something like that. The world of Red Dead is just absolutely gigantic, so for all we know, it could literally be anywhere, since the guy really doesn't mention where it could be. I think the native burial ground in West Elizabeth definitely could be the one that's being mentioned here, but I don't understand why it's so far away from Valentine itself. I mean, in terms of the entire map scale, it isn't that far away, and it could be the one they're talking about here. People have actually brought dead eagles and owls to the burial site, and nothing would happen. If this is the burial site that is associated with the Valentine's curse, then it's 100% real, because if you damage it, then weather changes instantly. And that isn't a coincidence. That's obviously some sort of a curse or something. It's tough to say if anything can be done here. I mean, there are different colors at the gravesite here, those being red, green, and black, and people realize that the skull masks in the game all have a red, green, and black smudge on them as well. There are obviously a lot of things to look at here, and maybe possibly wearing those skulls around the gravesite might do something, but probably not. I don't know. I just think that the mystery of Valentine's curse is just going to remain a mystery. If you think you might have any insight into any of this, maybe if you found something yourself, let us know down in the comment section below, because any help is always welcome with these mysteries, because with the Valentine's curse, I don't think we have much to go off of here. other than the stuff that I've showcased. But other than that, that's going to be it. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a wonderful day and see you in the next one.